There has been a lot of discussion of late about the shape of the realm that we live in. What is it? What shape is it? How big is it? Because we do know one thing. What we do know is that what we're being told as far as our history, as far as who and what we are, is false. And so it would make sense that we are also being told the wrong things about the realm that we live in. I mean, of course, we're told that we live on a ball spinning through space. And there are so many anomalies with that theory. As far as, spherical curvature doesn't work. You can't measure it anywhere. And the stars don't move. And now that we have zoom lenses, we can bring ships back in when they go over the horizon. So there's just 3. So I wanted to sort of get into this a bit more and show you a map that I've come across from the 1500s that might shed a bit more light on where we actually are. So let's jump into this. This is David Rumsey Map Collection Cartography Associates, and this is a pretty cool site. I haven't actually gone through it too much, but as you'll see, it is covered in old maps. So there's quite a lot here you can go through. I believe we can just click on them and we get pictures. And I'm not sure what this is. This is some kind of tree of life or something. But there's all these maps down here as well. We've got Celestial, Americas, Civil War, cities, atlases. So lots of cool stuff. But what I want to show you today is this. This is Urbano Monti's Planisphere from 1587. It is the largest early world map, and the original is 10 foot in diameter. Made in 1587, and there's just a quick glimpse at the whole map. And the first thing that you'll notice is all this land around the outside. 2 trailer park girls. And then we have, the more familiar-ish kind of land in the middle. So it's a bit hard to see. It also shows, how much the land has actually changed in, the last 500 years. Less, 450. So in the middle here, now we've seen this before on other maps. Is it Ortelius? And this is obviously the Arctic, and we have the magnetic North Pole right in the center, and land going around. Now this is all, I believe it's Spanish, so I can read some of it, but not that much. So if there are any people out there that can read Spanish, I would love to know what this map says, because it's very interesting, as you'll see. So we've got Mare del North. Mare, is that war or ocean? But basically these are the North Oceans and things. And then we have the land masses. And as you'll see, these are the Americas. So we've got North America, Central, and this is South America. Look at this. We've got this huge land mass. And here you can see America, and this is part of Brazil. I've got owls and ostriches in different regions, but look, like at the moment, South America kind of goes like that. Over here is Africa, as you can see, and that would make this Australia, I guess, because this is India. And I can turn this around, this map, I believe. Now I'm lost there. India. So India, this would be Southeast Asia. And so we get all these islands, but then we get this big landmass with dinosaurs on it, birds, strange creatures looking into mirrors. They look like sort of monkey men. Don't know. There's a couple over here trying to, I don't know, playing a game with some kind of animal. But very interesting, and we have dragons here. This says New Guinea. Now New Guinea is above Australia. So is this, and so this is where this map gets confusing, is, you know, are they saying that this is Australia? It just looks a bit low when you look at where, you know, Africa and South America come down. So I'm not really sure. I think that might be Australia. But getting back to the shape of the realm in which we live. Now this is Africa. And I want you to look at the shape of this. Can you see how that is really stretched out? Compared to what we see on normal maps, that is very stretched out. Azimuthal equidistant map. And this is South America, and this is Africa. So you can see we've got, you know, this is fairly circular, this sort of bit coming off here on the left. And then we have this. Almost looks like a skull, doesn't it? Bit of a nose. So that's Africa, how we're shown it is. And also, you know, have a look at South America. And we come back here. And this is what we get. Look how stretched out this bit here is. And just the whole of Africa down here is much, much wider. This is South America, and as you can see, same thing. Now, that looks to be more land rather than just stretched. You know, when you look at this sort of map, it does look like there's a bit more land that's showing. But I'm not really sure. So the point I'm trying to what I'm trying to point out here is that this is a flat map. Obviously, this is a flat Earth map. Okay, it's not a globe. We have Antarctic in here. We have, you know, Europe, North America, or Europe sort of through here, North Africa, Asia. And, you know, you can work out the shapes here. It's not too bad. You know, the water's different, but as we get further out, all the land masses stretch out. Which, if the Earth is flat, that's what you would expect. Because obviously, see, on a ball, you start with a point, it gets bigger, and then it goes back into the point. So, on a globe, the equator is obviously the longest line of latitude. Okay, so this, which is this, and they say that's the widest point, and then from there it starts to go back in and under to another pole down here. Now that, if you draw that on a map, that would mean that you would have to make these smaller to fit in. If you can imagine that tucked under, it would have to be smaller to hit down on the bottom point. On this, they're drawn quite splayed out, quite large. So is this a clue? Because this is a map, this is a proper map, this is what they used to say around, you know, 1500. So this was, you know, around the so-called age of exploration. As you can see, there's boats everywhere, some familiar, you know, signage. Down here we have a merman with a wreath. And like I said, lots of stuff written around, which I would love to be deciphered. Now, something, I found lots of interesting things on this. I mean, look at this landmass. So let's go to here, South America. That's South America here. So this is South America, Central America. You know, they're still calling this, you know, America, Brazil. Down here they call it Peru. Is that right? Oh, it is down here somewhere. We've got what looks like, you know, a llama, an alpaca. And as we come down here, we have these, the regions of giants. These dudes, I don't know. I think this guy just punched this guy's in the ghoulies. That's a bit rude. And then we have this giant out here playing mummies. And down here, so we have this break right through the continent. And it's called the Stretch of Magellan. And here we have Tierra del Fuego. Now that is still part of South America, Tierra del Fuego. So is this the bottom bit of South America? I mean, look how wide that is for start of it. So what's going on here? Or is this another landmass that has broken away, or that might be on the other side of, I don't know, an ice wall or something? But they've just kept the names for the bottom bits of land. Because there's an awful lot of land down here. You can see it all the way around. And what's this? Because there should be nothing here. There's no continent coming down to this. Got all these mythical creatures. I'm not sure what that is. And this is Terra Gallica. So I've never heard of that. Don't know what that is. And I've got lions and eating lizards and crocodiles. And this other whole land, again, you know, we've got, this is an African cheetah. What's it doing down here? And of course, look at, does this look snow covered? Because look where it's supposed to be. And this I found, is this the one? Moctezuma. There we go, it's a bit better. So there we go, that is Moctezuma. I think that says the chief of Mexico. At the India, so Indian Ocean, is that what that says? India Occidental. So this is Montezuma, who was the last ruler of the Aztecs, or Moctezuma, sorry. Montezuma, I think, was his predecessor, and he's just down on this random island. I mean, now this, he could just be there, just touching it. It could just be where they got the faces. But he's from here, South America. Now we have another one here, and this is the Regis d'Espagnolo of India. The dominant laureate of something. So here's another guy. Now, are these guys Tartarians? Ocean of Giaciato. So it's naming an ocean down here below this landmass. What is this landmass? And we've got islands down here. Has this got a name? Part of Brazil. So what is going on with this map? Because see, this is Brazil here. How can that be part of Brazil? Like, I'm just confused. You know, I'm thinking, is this just the bottom half of South America just splayed right out? But I mean, that's too far, right? That looks like extra land to me. I mean, familiar names, but could these names just have been moved and changed? You know, more dragons, more giants. So this is New Guinea. And like I said today, New Guinea is up in the tropics. Well, actually, if you've got India, and this would be sort of, you know, Southeast Asia, Java. There you go, that'd be Java in Indonesia. Java Minor, so that'd be like sort of Timor, which I would think that would be more New Guinea. They're calling that Gilolo. And then we've got, this is like Torres Strait Islands. So this could be the top of Australia. And look at the shape of it. But then that, I don't know, just in, it's doing my head in. Just in vicinity, you know, Australia, if we go back to this, you know, these, you know, bottom what we call the sort of southern continents, you know, South America, Africa, Australia, you know, they're kind of, you know, like Australia's not down here, you know, in the Antarctic. It's kind of on the same latitude as these two land masses. But when we go back here, this if this is Australia and this is Africa and South America, this is quite a bit lower. I mean, the top of it, I suppose, but look how far down it goes. I don't know, I'm a bit I mean, it would make sense if these bits weren't in the middle here, like these other land bits. This is what's kind of doing my head in. So again, if you can read what this says, you can stop me having a mental breakdown. And yeah, just interesting, you know, all the different, you know, we see these everywhere, these different, you know, chimera type beasties. So here, Oceano. So what does mare? Does mare mean southern maybe? I'm not sure. Oceano. So this, here we go. So we've even got the sun. So that would be Capricorn, Equator, and in here we'd have Cancer. So I'm just wondering if they're showing elliptical patterns as well. But anyway, there's just so much to look at on this map, and it's just all so different. You know, if you come in here, this is Europe, you know, we've still got familiar names. Like that's probably Lithuania or something, Latvia, Russia, Moldavia. And I guess across here would be Tartaria. So what do we got here? Satanian. I haven't heard of that one before. Desert, Tars. I'm seeing lots of tar words, but no Tartaria. Tartaro. So this is all sort of Tartaria. And again, look at these guys. We've got like a devil here with wings and a big dragon in the desert. And another one. And, you know, cities. Calafia. Oh, I have, not these cities, but I've actually searched for some of these outer, you know, the names of some of these outer lands. Didn't get much back. I did get something. So this was one of the names at the bottom, Sovrani di Polonia. Hang on, might need to translate that. Poland was ruled by dukes in the periods, by grand dukes, and by the kings. The most important dynasties of the Piast and the Jagiellon. The previous subsequent monarchs, often also held the neighbouring lands or had been raised to the throne by foreign dynasties. What is going on here? So this guy was the king of Poland. Giovanni Casimiro, king of Poland, of the Vasa dynasty, son of Sigismund III, king of Poland and Sweden, and of Constance of Habsburg. So this is the guy here, Ilri di Portogallo. And apparently he was a king of Poland, got a nice crown on. It looks like a bit of an angry angel thing there. So Giovanni, this is him, of the Vasa dynasty, son of Sigismund III, king of Poland, Sweden, and of Constance of Habsburg. Born in 1609, he had dedicated himself to ecclesiastical life and went to Rome in 1640 and became a Jesuit, and had lived in society for 4 years, not yet a priest, when Innocent X on March 28, 1646 appointed him cardinal deacon, just 2 years later, having died without making any offspring, any male offspring. His brother had to renounce the cardinalate and was elected king. The following year he married the apostolic dispensation of his brother's widow. So this is all a bit weird. This is all around 1600s, which is, the time frame we talk a lot about. And this, I don't know, it gives you the idea that, this guy, he was sort of a prince. They grabbed him, chucked him in, tried to turn him into a Jesuit for some reason. He obviously didn't want to go along because he died pretty young, and then his brother jumped in, took his position, and his wife. A bit rough. So, yeah, like I said, I'm going to leave the link for this map, and if you can read it, there is a lot of text, and you can zoom right in. So, you can get right in and check everything out. We've got a crane down here, and this is the other thing, even down, as south as you can go, or as far out as you can go, there's no ice. And in the middle, there's no ice. So this is 500 years ago. So what's the what's the ice? There was a mini ice age in around the 1600s, I believe. I may have that date wrong, but in the so-called Middle Ages, there was a mini ice age. Was that the start of this? And have we been? Because now we're shown that this is just water, but clearly in maps, lots of maps, not just one, they show land masses up here. So a couple of questions is, how big is this area? Because if you go onto Google Earth or maps, they show it as a very, very small area. But again, is that just a distortion of maps? You see, if you draw a map like this, just have a look at it. There is no Arctic. You can just sort of blank the whole Arctic out. You don't have to show how big it is. And look at just the way that it's drawn here. Trying to show us it's still a ball, but that's the thing. If these were wrapped around further, that area in the middle could be quite a large area. And now this area, we're told, we're shown, is covered in ice. And of course, what's been going on since the 90s, last sort of 25 years, they're now talking about global warming, and they're saying, oh no, the ice is melting. But clearly there was no ice back here. So is that even a problem? Or is that us going back to what this realm really should be? Have we been blocked off on this side and on this side? Because there's an ice wall there as well, and we're not allowed to go. There are treaties. We cannot go down here. We cannot go in here. Why is that? And why are they both surrounded by ice? And what's on the other side, if anything? And what's all this land? Has this ice wall moved in a bit? Are these just all covered in ice now? Is there stuff underneath which we hear a lot about? And it's a very interesting map. And again, this is a proper map by cartographers, and this is what they use to get around the world. And this is what, they were paid to go and do proper maps for kings and queens and rulers. So they don't put all this effort in to make a false map. The other thing I want to mention is that people who have gone down to the Antarctic, there's been, many missions, but Captain James Cook went down there in the 1700s, and he tried to find an entrance through the ice wall, and I believe he spent 4 years sailing around. Actually, maybe he was a bit less than 4 years, and the guy after him was 4 years, but basically they spent years and years trying to sail around Antarctica, and we're told that Antarctica is just this little, landmass down here, which again they don't want to show us. So a little, you know, if you can imagine this is the bottom, sailing around that shouldn't take 4 years, but sailing around this may. And another thing is and you can read this up, it's all online, looking at the Captain Cook Antarctic voyage, and there was another one in the 1800s, and they both had the same problem, and that they still find this today, that when ships are down in, you know, the southern oceans, what happens is they get off their course all the time, off their bearing and their trajectory. So, and it's by as much as 20 miles a day. Now that's pretty telling, because you can imagine that if you're following a map that says this is a ball, and so once you pass here it starts getting, then that map's going to be off. But if in reality it does get bigger, like this map shows us, and you can see here, these lines of longitude are getting further apart. So if you think you're sailing here and you go this far, but you're actually down here and you've gone this far, you could definitely be 20 miles a day off. 20 miles a day as well, so you can imagine what what that would total up to, you know, over years. It's a lot of space. So it's a very interesting map, and I just wanted to share this with you. As I said, links in the description. Have a look, check it out. I've hardly shown you anything. There's so much on here. If you can read Spanish, I believe this is Spanish. If you can read it, please let me know. Does that say Barbaria? I don't even know where I am anymore. Oh, that's Russia. Camel's up here. Actually, where's he? Look at that. We've still got massive buildings. And, sorry, just had a thought about the pyramids. Are they here? Okay, so we've got straight, deserts, Algiers. God, it's also different. Arabia, no, so I was down here. We should be Mogadiscio. We've got Ethiopia. Suachi. Oh my gosh, everything's so different here. What's this? Jerusalem. Bethlehem. Cairo. And look how they draw Cairo. Look how big that is. A big encircled star. I mean, compared to the other cities, that's pretty big. And here are the pyramids. Yeah, so we've got the pyramids. Memphis, and then all the temples down. So that, and see how it's showing the three main pyramids. Interesting, and a nice big dragon. Alright, so guys, yeah, check this out. Have fun, look around, see what you can find. Leave whatever you can find in the comments, or any descriptions, translations, things like that you can find. Filippo Max saying in his little boat. Yeah, check it out. I'll leave the link in the description. Thanks for spending some time with me. Please give me a like, share this content, hit the bell if you want to be notified of my future uploads, and if you do want to support this channel, there are links below in the description. Alright guys, have an awesome day, and I'll catch you on the next upload. Bye for now.